Hello everyone, welcome back to my No Buy Year and my little series of videos on style in this era of influence. Today I wanted to explore the idea that you can't buy style. So as I did in the first video of this series, I will quickly go through, maybe not so quickly go through, my outfit that I've chosen to wear for this video. I have selected my outfits in a kind of chronological representation of when these things entered my wardrobe and the kind of evolutionary journey my style has been on, even though I spoke about how style evolutions have been a little bit problematic in this age of social media. I have nonetheless undergone a style evolution. So I actually filmed two outfits for today's video, and you might just see the other one in a little sidebar here with the mirror shots. This next era for me was when I discovered the French brand Sezane, and they started getting bigger and bigger on social media. The top I have on is from Sezane, and it's like a little knit shirt, navy blue, which I still believe is one of my core colors in my wardrobe. The pants I have on are purchased from New Zealand, so again, a very old purchase, relatively speaking, in my wardrobe. I think I last lived there in 2015, and I've been back to visit once since. So these are a little bit more what the pants look like, a little bit cropped. I do believe these are a synthetic material. They kind of look like linen, but they're synthetic. They were from more of a fast fashion store, and I have kept them around. They're very versatile as far as the waistband is very stretchy. They saw me through a couple of pregnancies and kids. And then the shoes are Nisolos, which is again another influenced purchase. I got these off Poshmark because I would often thrift the things that I saw influencers talk about to try to get a better deal as well as contribute to more circular fashion. And I've already kind of talked about the dangers of thrifting and resale with regards to somebody shopping too much. So you can check that out in The Pain of Decluttering up here somewhere. The second outfit is also a Sezane top that you might have seen me wear on this channel before. It's the Chloe shirt, 100% silk, the sage green. I viscerally remember when I saw this shirt come out in this color, and I had to have it. It was like I was suddenly gripped by the beauty of this color. And I don't even know if this green is one of my better colors, but I'm not going to get rid of it anytime soon anyway, because it does represent one of my more professional work shirts that can dress up a pair of more casual pants and is very inoffensive. Like, nobody's going to look at it and think that that's a terrible style, at least in my opinion. The purse that I chose to carry is none other than the Alexa, the Mulberry Alexa, which I had a dupe of for the longest time when I was in my bachelor's degree of college in New Zealand. I had a knockoff, a very cheap fast fashion version. And then when I started earning a little bit more money in America, I got myself this off of Fashion File. So again, thrifted for, I think, between $200 and $300 at the time. So it felt like a really good deal for what sold as a $1,000 bag or more. And I still have it. I don't think I could ever bear to part with it. Not only because it shares my name, but it's just full of so many memories of, I guess, back in the days when I was more inspired by style instead of directly influenced to purchase the exact same items. Even though this is one of the exact same items that I would see, where I was at when I wanted this and used it and purchased it was a place of taking inspiration instead of buying exact items. But let's get to the conversation of today, shall we? About identity and style and how you can't buy style. Style is not something that is up for purchase. Maybe it's ironic that my identifier bag with the Alexa is the one that I chose for this chat. I didn't even plan it that way. To cut to the chase today, I do think that identity has been commodified by social media, fashion influencers. Again, I don't think that influencers are demons and that they're planning to do this in a conscious way to sell us identities and make us all want to buy stuff because we think it'll change our lives or make us better people. No, I don't think that. But I just think through the natural progression of people becoming influencers as a job and society being structured around this development, it has become that identity seems like something that we can now purchase. The illusion of being able to buy your way into a certain aesthetic or identity or lifestyle is more prevalent now than it ever has been before, in my humble opinion and experience. The notion of aesthetics and how they come and go and how they're trending and how each aesthetic comes with certain virtues that are then virtue signaled by those who partake, who buy the right stuff. I could name a few examples that stick out. A little while ago there was the vsco girls or whatever with the Kanken backpacks, the scrunchies, the hydro flasks, and I think they were supposedly more environmentally friendly, environmentally conscious girls who liked traveling, perhaps, adventures, making friends, sharing things. They were generous. And one of the bits I would keep seeing about vsco girls is that they would let you have their scrunchie if you needed one. You know, just these positive values associated with the aesthetic type. And I think we've been seeing more and more of that today, where you've got the clean girls who are put together and organized and productive, and the cottagecore girls who have a fairy tale kind of vibe where it's ethereal and whimsical, and one could say kind of nature inspired as well, in the vein of Snow White living in the forest. Eclectic grandpa, where it's a bunch of vintage inspired or found items that are well worn and loved, if we're not just buying the trend, that is. Coastal grandma, where she's a little upscale but also laid back, and all these associations with the trends, with the values. I'm sure I'm missing some very obvious ones, so if you can think of more examples of what I'm talking about, please drop them in the comments. I'd be fascinated to know what kind of styles and trends and aesthetics are out and about right now. But the idea that you are a certain type of person because you have certain stuff, I believe is totally backwards. All you can tell by the stuff that a person has is that they bought the stuff or they somehow acquired the stuff. You don't know why, you don't know when, you don't know how. I shared a story a while back about how I saw a woman in a sushi restaurant who had a couple of trendy pieces. And she looked great, by the way. But even when seeing somebody who has trendy pieces, you don't even know if they know that it's a trend or if they just happen to have stumbled upon those particular items and liked them and bought them. You never truly know. And you can't really derive this kind of information from the stuff people have. I can speak personally that many times that I have an item that is trendy, it is a sign that I was exposed to that trend, and I've often bought things because of that exposure. So in some ways, one could say that the trends made me buy some items that I may or may not have bought otherwise. But over this process of the no-buy year that I've been attempting, I have started to slowly declutter the pieces that perhaps I would not have bought if it wasn't trending. The first item that comes to mind is the viral Skims slip dress, which is a very, very tight maxi dress with thin straps, the tank top on top, and it's tight all the way down. This is never something that I've been comfortable wearing. I've worn it perhaps once or twice, always with a top over, because I just feel way too exposed when it's tied all the way down and you can see kind of every outline. I'm not one of those people that's organized enough to have the right underwear or the right undergarments to wear something like that and look sleek. And I was gonna say assaulted. My eyeballs were assaulted with so many little clips of girls on social media looking amazing in this dress that I really thought I would feel amazing wearing it. And that was not the case. And if I'd bothered to look into my own style history, I could have probably determined that before I purchased it, right? If it's not something that I felt comfortable in before, seeing a bunch of other women looking amazing and saying that they feel amazing in it is not really going to change my perception instantaneously. There is a universe in which I could feel comfortable in a tight tank top maxi dress. I don't think that's out of the realms of possibility, but it's not something that's currently in line with my lifestyle, and I don't feel the need or desire to become that version of myself right now. And I made the mistake of letting all of the examples I saw in front of me on the content I was choosing to consume sway my opinion or sway my temporary goal in a way of becoming that kind of person, because it looked so good on other people. It was never going to be my identity unless I truly wanted to be that kind of person who felt comfortable in that kind of article of clothing. And again, I don't mean to extend any type of judgment or value implications about the clothing or the people that wear it when I say that. I don't think any styles or fashions or levels of being revealing or not revealing or anything like that is wrong in a fundamental way. It's all up to personal choice and comfort. There's another area of clothing that I have often been tempted by, and there have been examples of this even as recently as a week or two ago. I'm pleased to report that I did not cave in and purchase any of these articles of clothing, but I will share the story of how I'm repeatedly tempted by graphic t-shirts. And I think, again, this is a desire to communicate something about my internal identity through the clothing I choose to wear. And again, I don't think it's wrong to do that, but let me tell the story, and perhaps I will get to more of the points I'm trying to make as I naturally do so. So Instagram has started serving me these ads for graphic tees based on classical composers, classical music, classical references. So for example, I play the viola, and one of our major concertos that I have to play at every audition is the Bartók Viola Concerto. I know this is super niche information, and that's kind of the point. One of the graphic t-shirts was a plain t-shirt with just the composer's name on it, Bartók. And the idea of wearing this niche composer's name, it's kind of like wearing a band t-shirt for a band that you really like and listen to. And it's so specific to somebody who's into classical music, perhaps who plays the viola. It's such a popular composer in the viola world for this reason, that having this particular shirt, the idea of it tickled my brain. It made me think, oh, if I had that shirt and I would be able to wear it, it would communicate so much about me. And even if people don't know who this composer is, it would communicate that I am part of this niche community that interacts with this composer on a regular basis so much that I would want to wear it on my body. I guess it's kind of similar to tattoos in that regard, where you have an aspect of your identity that is so strong that some people do get it tattooed onto their bodies. Again, not making a value judgment. I personally don't have tattoos at the moment, but that's not to say that I would never get one or think that they're bad. Love to see some good tattoo art. Anyway, so I was looking at these graphic tees. There was the Bartók one. There was another one that said Mahler. There was some with more graphics on them, like pianos or images evocative of specific pieces of music, the planets, the seasons. I already have some of these, right? I have that Debussy sweatshirt with La Mer on it with a wave, and I have a shirt that says something about practicing. If you could play it slowly, you could play it quickly. I have a shirt with Brahms on it. So I already do own several of these examples of kind of niche graphic tees that say something about my identity and will telegraph that information to those who also know these things about classical music. And I think it was this idea of trying to make my outsides match my insides in a way that people could see. And it was giving me this concept, this notion of an easy way to express my style. If we kind of connect style with identity, which is what I'm trying to do this year. I'm trying to make my style more personal and more genuine, more reflective of my actual life and tastes. So using this essentially basic vehicle of a t-shirt and then the very expressive niche personal graphic, I was kind of, at least in the moment, extremely tempted to give in to this desire to purchase another way to express my identity through my style. And I still love a good graphic tee. I'm not condemning the use of a graphic tee to express something. It is a very basic, easy, practical way, all of those being good attributes. It is a good way in those ways to express one's style or one's identity through the graphics that they choose. It's kind of like wearing a little bit of art in a way. And I do still like them. But I realize now that I don't need to buy something to express my inner identity on the outside. One's character really cannot truly be seen through the clothes that they choose to wear. Not only because anybody could wear the Bartók t-shirt and not even know who Bartók is, right? That's certainly a possibility. People wear band t-shirts of bands they don't listen to. So sometimes it communicates something that's not a part of your identity, but ultimately your true character and your complex life experience cannot be encapsulated in a t-shirt or even a full outfit, nor can it be taken away if you don't express through your clothing, if you don't express your style and life experiences through what you wear. And I guess my final conclusion about this is that a lot of the motivations to buy things, a lot of ad agencies or, PR companies or whatever it might be, have found a way to bottle up this idea of selling you the identity of the aspirations of the ways that you want to be and make it available for purchase. Make people want to try on these different personas, and oftentimes leading to these purchases of items people don't truly need and don't truly resonate with when they wear them. So you can't buy style. You can't buy your identity, even if you buy a purse that shares your name. I actually have owned pants that have also been called the Alexa and have decluttered them because they do not embody the identity of me, Alexa. So the marketing trick of using women's names for pieces to possibly entice women with that name to buy it, I don't know. I did a video as well on how you can't buy an elevated class status, so that's a little bit of a different conversation. But I think there's lots of nuance to choosing how we appear in a general sense. And I do think that style and clothing and accessories and all the things that we do buy do play a role. And it's just about navigating that minefield of influence, using influence in the sense of what the word means, right? How anything we see can inspire and influence us. It's about navigating those things so that we choose the sources of influence and inspiration that make us feel truly authentic and don't impact our purchasing decisions in ways that are not authentic to us. And again, revisiting the concept of style evolution, I have fallen into the trap personally of having style evolutions that I didn't need to have because I was so tempted to try on a new identity when I saw it so much and saw other people looking so amazing in the styles that they were presenting. But now that I truly understand that identity is not something that you can buy and show in your clothing, I think I'll have a much better go of when I jump back into the ocean of consumerism after my no-buy year and am able to wade through all of the options in a much more conscious way. Even if I still catch myself looking at some aesthetics and identities and wondering what it would be like to have all of that stuff look like that, wear the same outfits, do the same things. I can rely on the strength of being able to admire without aspiring in the future. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. Oh, I never talked through my makeup in this video. So this is just the standard minimal makeup that I tend to do for an everyday workday in this present day. I actually went through a much more explorative phase of makeup when I was still in New Zealand in my undergrad. That's this stage where I was wearing the colorful eyeliner, eyeshadow, different color lipsticks. I had a purple, I had a bright orange that I loved to wear. I don't know that it looked great because it was pretty warm toned, and I like to stay more neutral or even cool toned these days, and I think it's more harmonious with my complexion, but I did have fun. I often would pair the orange lipstick with the navy blue because of the orange and blue complementary contrast, and I might be talking myself into wanting a cool toned orange lipstick in my future, actually, when I revisit these memories with you here. So stay tuned for that, I guess. Next year when my no-buy is over. But would I just be buying that for sentimental reasons? That's a bridge to cross another day.